Today we're talking about my favorite platform to build my courses, do my marketing, all my follow-ups. Today we're talking about specifically building courses in ClickFunnels. It seems like every week there's a new platform popping up, right? Something that's going to help us with our course or our marketing or whatever. And it seems like we just have to keep spending money just to show up online. And if you're a small business like mine, you know that there's not a ton of money sitting around or growing on trees to be able to afford all of that. And it seems like it's a never-ending battle. Well, it was for me until I found ClickFunnels, because then I found a platform that could finally do everything from building my pages to hosting my course to having members-only login areas, all of my email automations, and so much more. When I found ClickFunnels, literally everything changed in my business, and today I'm going to show you a lot more about how ClickFunnels can help you guys building your course. So let's get started. We're going to start by building your roadmap for success. We're also going to talk about why format really matters. And I'll share with you a new wave Evergreen strategy. So all this and more, as we always say, roll the intro. We'll see you on the other side. Before you start building your course in ClickFunnels or any other platform, you have to start with your roadmap. You have to know what you're actually building. I worked with a client recently, and it was rather difficult because they hadn't actually done any of this foundational information. They hadn't really figured out what they were doing with their course. They just wanted it to start being built. And that, my friends, is the backwards way of going about this. It ended up costing the client way more money because we had to bring in other people to get that work done, which meant that the customer had to pay for that. But it also wasted the customer's time because they weren't creating messaging that was getting people excited, because their messaging was completely disconnected to what they were actually selling. So they were wasting their time and their money, and I want to stop you from wasting all of that as well. So the first thing you have to do when you're thinking about building out your course is starting with that tangible result. What is it at the end of this program that your students will be able to do that they weren't able to do previously? You can help understand a good tangible result by first understanding what it is that our customers are having problems with. What are those obstacles that you can help them overcome? Once you've nailed down what that tangible is at the end of your program, that makes the roadmap so much easier. So you're going to put point A, that's where your customer is right now when they're starting your program. What are they able to do? What are they not able to do? And then I want you to think about at the very end of your program where your student is at position number B. That is where they are when they're able to accomplish and have or do whatever it is that your program teaches them. Then, to create the roadmap in between, you're going to lay out all of the individual steps and actions that that person needs to take in order to actually have success in your program. So say, for example, the success at the end of our program is they've been able to bake a cake. So the steps in between would be things like gathering your resources, preheating your oven, mixing things together, prepping the pan, putting the batter in the pan, putting it in the oven, testing it when it comes out, and maybe you can even offer an extra training that we unlock that has to do with decorating your cake, for example. It's a great thing for an upsell, but that we're getting ahead of ourselves. Once you have that roadmap and you know what all the steps are that your people need to take, then I want you to go shoot all the videos for your course. Actually show them step by step how to do what it is you do. Once you have all of those links, when we come back to the idea of building this in ClickFunnels, actually making this a reality using the ClickFunnels platform, the easiest way to get started, whether you're building it yourself or you're hiring a funnel designer to build it for you, is you want to have all those links to all those videos. When you're building a course area in ClickFunnels, it's it's really easy, but it is time consuming. And if you want it to be less time consuming, you want your designer or you want your own time to be freed up to do even more important things, then create a list. Give your designer a document that has each and every one of the links to the videos that are going to be added into your course. Each of those videos will correspond to those action steps to help your customer along the way. And a bonus, which I love to do in all of my ClickFunnels courses and members areas, is to also add in any supplementary resources or tools. So maybe when you're building a cake or you're baking a cake, we'll just use that example throughout, you might have a digital resource that helps them flip between grams and cups, or helps them convert other types of measurements. That's a real simple tool that again will help reduce that friction, reduce those obstacles to help your client, who's your student, I guess, achieve those tangible results. Real easy. So first, come up with a tangible result. Second, make sure that you know what it is your customer needs to do along the way. Third, actually show them the way. And fourth, give them any other extra tools that they need that might help them reduce any friction along the way. Super simple. Another super simple action you guys can take, if you haven't already, is to hit the subscribe button and join us here on the Visibility Hacking channel. New videos for you every week. Now it's time to actually start making your course a reality in ClickFunnels. So there's so many different ways that you can do this, but we're going to simplify it down to two. First, you can design a members area. This is my personal favorite way of doing paid courses. So if someone's going to pay me money, that means I need to build a wall between that only allows access to those who have actually paid to enter. So this is where we build a members area. Each of our students will be given a login and a password that's unique to them, and we'll be able to follow their progress through the course components. Super easy. So when you set this up in ClickFunnels, you want to make sure that you're adding in the page that is a members login as well as a members area. This is where you're going to add in all your videos and your resources and all of your supplementary graphics and text and all of that fun stuff. Now, the second thing that you could do instead of a members area, or in conjunction, which we can talk about briefly afterwards, is to do a product launch and to design your course as a product launch page. So what this means is that each day, say it's going to be launched, say it's a 5-day course, each day your students will have access to that day's lesson. It will unlock those different days, but it doesn't necessarily need your student to have a login to get to it. The reason it's called a product launch is because it's a marketing component rather than an instructional design focus. So what a product launch is, it's about hyping people up, getting them excited. So what you could do if you want to do ultimate dominance online is to start with a high-level overview of the first aspect of your course. Do that as a 3 or 5 day product launch where you're indoctrinating, you're teaching the importance of that framework. Then people will have the ability to purchase your product and purchase your course where they're able to complete the rest of it behind that members area. You get the hype from the product launch, you get to share it with lots of audiences, get feedback, and use it as a way to weed out people who are in your movement who aren't necessarily interested in that particular step. Then you can take your customer or your new student through to that tangible result at the end. Super easy. But I know it can feel a little bit complicated. So if you are still stuck and you have never tried ClickFunnels before, then what I want you to do is let me know down in the comments what you are stuck on. Or if you're using a different platform to build your courses, let me know about those as well, because I'm always on the lookout for great solutions. And if you want me to try and do some reviews of other platforms, then hey, yeah, I'm in for it. Oh Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk now from an instructional design perspective when it comes to building out our courses. One of the coolest things that we can do now that ClickFunnels allows us access to is repurposing the content we're using on other platforms. So I want you to think about this. If you go live in your Facebook group on a regular basis, say you have a weekly show like I do, Mondays, in the visibility hacking group, we'll tell you about that later on, but if you have your regular show, what you can do is then repurpose that video and pop that into your ClickFunnels account. This way, people can now see that video and it can generate either leads for your email list, or it can be a hype wagon for a product that you're launching, or it can be a transitional step or a bridge between another product that you're working on selling. Whatever it is, we can reuse that content, and now it can work for us evergreen. So evergreen, if you haven't heard that term before in the digital marketing space, evergreen is just like the trees. So we have deciduous trees and we have coniferous trees. We have trees that shed their leaves in the winter, and we have trees that stay beautiful all year round. Not to say that a tree without its leaves isn't beautiful, but that's a point for another day. Our evergreen trees are able to all throughout the year help us generate, our trees help us generate clean air, but our evergreen content is great and useful and bright green and serving value all throughout the year. It's not just when we have a launch going on, not just when we're live, but all the time. And so from an instructional design perspective, this is where we're now able to work synchronously with a group of people live on Facebook with us, but also take that, put it into our course area so that our asynchronous learners can also get that same value. Pretty freaking cool. All right, so I talked about our live show, one of our live shows. We have a couple different shows, but I want you guys to come check them out. We air them in the Visibility Hacking Facebook group, which is where we love to connect with all of our visibility hackers. But you can join us on Friday nights for Friday Night Live, where we can get your questions answered. You have access to all of our awesome visibility hacking coaches every single Wednesday night or Friday nights, Friday Night Live. So if you are interested in that, links are down below. All you have to do is head over to visibilityhacking.com, click the link at the top of the page to become a visibility hacker. That's where you will be popped into our group, answer a few questions so we know you're not a robot, and we will see you for a Friday Night Live. Yes! I'm excited. All right, guys, I will see you in our next one, but before that, I will see you in Friday Night Live, and in the meantime, check out one of these awesome videos. I will see you very, very soon, my friends. Until then, as per usual, remember, I love you. Be excellent to each other. Go out and find your people. They're waiting for you.